Welcome to YouTooSpain, broadcasting live on YouTube. On today's show, I'll be talking with our best mate, Chris from Upsticks, all about the top best apps and even the websites that will improve your quality of life while you're in Spain. Join us on the live chat over there or down there or wherever it is on your device. Or if you're watching the video back afterwards, you can chat in the comments below. There'll be loads of handy information and lively chat for you from beginning to end. So stick around for the whole thing. You're all very welcome to YouTooSpain. Still alive! And don't forget, let's dance. Were you all dancing? I was. Right then, just before we get chatting, don't forget to sign up for free to the monthly newsletter from the website, youtooospain.com. You'll see that on the screen for quite a lot of the show. And also a very quick plug for our lovely friends at Smart Currency Exchange, whom I always highly recommend for when you're moving or buying a house here. That's their speciality. Use the link below to get in touch with them and you get a free account with no obligation and it doesn't cost you a penny. And using the link helps YouTooSpain out too, and that doesn't cost you anything extra. And of course, it's a win-win-win with a cherry on top. There we go. So without further ado, let's meet my wonderful guest for today. It is, of course, our mate, Chris from Upsticks. Hola, Chris.
Good morning.
Good morning. You don't look like you're at home today. Whereabouts are you? You're roving reporter.
No, roving reporter today. I'm in Torre Quebrada in Figueroa.
Very nice. The weather looks a lot better there than it is here. We're high up in the mist at the moment.
Oh, it's completely changed to what it was supposed to be raining. So, but I said I'd sit outside anyway, even if it was raining. But no, it seemed to have the sun's poking through, and there's supposed to be a bit of rain this afternoon. But yeah, it's lovely temperature though.
Very nice, lovely. So let's say hello on the live chat. We've got one or two joined us already. Robbo, Paula Bramble, Peter Urquhart and Paul Cook. Good morning to all of you and to everybody who's just joining us. I think we've got 22, but you've not all said hello. Everybody wave and say something on the live chat so we know who's with us. Andy Cooper there is paired, it says, which means that he's watching not only on this channel, but also on the Upsticks channel. So if everybody would like to do that, then Chris will get the watch hours as well. And it's all very, very helpful and very kind. Andy Cooper says, morning, Chris and Skatz. Finally arriving in Arboleas on Wednesday. Now for stage 2 with Chris. Yes, the adventure begins. So, and did you know, everybody, you can get membership of YouTube channels. I don't know if yours is set up yet for membership, Chris, but you can certainly get it on YouTooSpain, and a few of you have already signed up. And what happens is the best advantage is that when I schedule a video to come out at say 5 o'clock on a Wednesday, anybody who's a member of the channel can watch that video in advance of everybody else as soon as I've put it on YouTube. So that's really, really handy. There's other benefits as well, but if you go into the membership thing on YouTube, you'll find out it's membership of the channel rather than membership of YouTube, which is a different thing. That's something that you can be a member of to stop any adverts on YouTube. It just means that, so there you go. So
we haven't got ours set up yet. I haven't really looked into it, to be honest.
I'll take
somebody should do.
There's a few things like supers and stars and all that kind of thing. You just go through you go have a look on the earning or monetization or something part of the thing on the menu.
I did move our weekly updates to Sundays after chatting to you, and I put that Sunday at 6 o'clock now, so it gives us a bit more time. I was scrambling to do them quite a bit, and then I thought, there's no point if you're a bit stressed doing it. It's got to be relaxed, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And we've got Mr. Lower Largo and Steffi, 72 days until she's back in Lanzarote. And Jeanette Harding Wilson. Oh, hello again. Hi, Chris and Shaz. I'm Shaz today from sunny Hampshire, and Brendan Dean from sunny Sussex. You're all paired up. Fantastic. You're all getting the hang of it now. So, we have any
Excellent.
news and updates before we start? We've got the golden visa was one of the things that's all happening.
Yeah, evidently the golden visa now. The announcement from that's gone quiet again now. It was put on the day after Sanchez announced it. It was run through the ministry, the concierge of ministry. They have approved it, but we don't know when that's going to be brought into force now. They've probably seen there's an awful lot of people now offering sort of rush services through it, so we assume that it's not going to be immediate, but it will happen. I think the biggest misunderstanding with the golden visa is that people saying they've got rid of the golden visa. They haven't got rid of the golden visa. What they've got rid of is the property element of the golden visa. So the actual golden visa or the investor visa is still in place from the €1 million upwards, but that's not in a property. That's when you've got €1 million in cash assets or investments in public debts. I think that's a 2 million. But the part that they've got rid of is the $500,000 investment in a property no longer qualifies you for the golden visa. Or that's the part they're getting rid of, I should say.
And what happens if you've already got the golden visa and you're worried about renewing it?
Then that, because it was brought in, it shouldn't affect that. So if you've already got a golden visa and you're renewing, it shouldn't affect that at all because you've already had it.
Yeah, unless they actually change the law on that and backdate it.
Which then I assume they'd have to give you another platform to move to. But again, the problem is until we see the text in what they publish, no one knows what's going to happen.
Okay, so look out for that in the future then.
We'll be keeping an eye on it, and let's see how quickly it gets pushed through. I'm sure there'll be some kickback somewhere, but there's no indication yet the date of when it's actually going to happen.
Fair enough. We will announce it as soon as as soon as it's in the press. Okay then. So preparing for the summer. Yes, what we usually do on this channel is we wait until about July and then say, don't move in August, by which time it's too late and everybody's already done their visas by then. But so giving everybody a bit more time to say, prepare for what happens in August when everything shuts down. It's not quite everything, but what moves slower and what are the problems there?
Yeah, so I mean, last year now we're yet to see what happens with BLS this year. Now, what we're assuming is that BLS will actually, the BLS office being the office in the UK, which is managing the visa applications, is that they're going to continue. Let's hope they do, because the whole August shutdown, we call it the August shutdown because that's when most people who work in administration take their holidays. Okay, and that includes not only people who work in public administration, that includes private individuals as well. Now, believe it or not, this has improved a lot, both on in the public and the private sector. Last year, we noticed a significant improvement. And this year, let's see what happens with BLS. So we think that the visas, probably the actual application for the visas won't be affected as much. But then what happens is because BLS basically send that information to the consulate, if they're all on holiday, it's going to be slow anyway. Yeah, so you might find that you get past that stage of actually submitting your documents, but it's still slower to get the visa issued because there's no one in the public administration to manage that. So that may be the slight change that we see this year on that front. On other fronts, here in Spain, well, I mean, we're already having problems getting the registration appointments. They're already running now in mid-June sometimes. So let's see how August is affected by that. So if you're going to be arriving in August, then you definitely can't expect to get an appointment in August straight away. And then obviously on the private sector, you'll find that if you're landing and you want to see somebody immediately, whether it be a lawyer, a gestor, an accountant, a plumber, electrician, whoever, you might just find that they're on holiday. And that also seeps into the first couple of weeks of September when they come back as well. So that's the sort of the things that you need to be aware of when, because this always coincides with people who, we're very busy at the moment because of people who are judging their days and coming in after the capital gains threshold. So people who are judging spending less than 183 days here in Spain want to come mid-July, early August. And that means that they're starting to do their documents now. So that's why this is always a bit of a rush period.
Great. So, any other news updates? Anything else on capital gains tax? Capital gains tax? Did you have you mentioned that already?
I haven't seen anything about that. What's going on with capital gains tax?
Oh no, I think it's just the same as the as the August issue. It's about people making sure they've sold their house.
Oh right, yeah. So what's happened is, as we know, we definitely advise people to get tax advice. Each individual's got individual circumstance, but the general rule, as we know, is if you spend more than 183 days in Spain in a fiscal year, then you become a fiscal resident and have to declare any income the following year. So now we're entering the tax declaration period from this month until the end of June, which is 1st of July, for everybody who was a fiscal resident in 2023. Mm-hmm. And that means basically, in simple terms, definitely whatever happens, find yourself a good accountant. Don't try and do it yourself with Hacienda. I've always had someone doing it for me because it's a better idea. It's the Hacienda is just a nightmare, and plus don't forget that the problems could arise 3 or 4 years later down the line, so you definitely need someone. And if you do have someone doing it, it's best to try and keep with the same person all the time. I was obviously with our friend Antonio, he does all mine. And basically what happens in this period when we do our tax declarations is we go to our accountant and we get all the money you've earned from whichever source it is that you've earned it, and you dump it on their desk. Then if there's anything they call them that you can write off from that, like for example children, I don't actually physically jump my children on the desk, but we do let him know that they're still alive and they're at school, which pushes our threshold up. And then in our circumstance, having a business, it's slightly more different because he already has the access from the quarterly returns. But it's getting to that point of the year where you go to your tax accountant and say, there's my pensions, this is the house I've sold, XYZ. And at the end, they come out with a magical figure that you have to pay. Mm-hmm. Or some circumstances, you get paid back.
Yes, yeah, which I think I probably will on this because I've just paid a huge amount for the last quarter. So, yeah, but I don't think there'll be anywhere near as much for the next one. There.
Yeah.
So, hello to Anton Cares. Yes, you're flying down to Spain later on today, and see you tomorrow. So, and Terry.
Yeah, I'll see you on Monday, hopefully.
Yeah, brilliant. So let's get on to the apps then. That's the whole point of today's show. We're going to have a lot of fun with this. So I'll bring them up one by one. I can display the first one. You've got a lot of articles on your website, on the Upsticks website. So I'm going to bring up the Upsticks page for a lot of these. And you can click on a link on some of these pages, which will take you to lots of different apps. So the first one, this is an article all about Bip&Drive, useful apps for Spain. So tell us about this one, Chris. Very handy.
Yeah, so I mean, this is part of our drive when this came with the conversation. Just to give our website a plug, was because we've got 250 articles on our website, and a lot of the times we've done one a week for the last 4 years, nearly over 4 years, and a lot of the time we write them, and Jane writes them, my colleague, and then we just leave them there. We don't actually use them or get them out there, and we're going back through them. And that list that I sent you, I can't believe we did so many about the apps. Yeah. So we're trying to regenerate or bring back to life some of our older articles. And this was, I believe this initially came from a conversation that we had about me doing my road trips. And Jane was like, I've just seen this app, which is Bip&Drive. Basically, it's a European-wide app which allows you to, if you're a professional, there is a small subscription, but it allows you to have a little gadget in your car, which means you can go through the tolls without stopping. It will just automatically charge you. If you've got an electric car, you can actually book your charging station, and there's also some parking advantages there as well.
Yeah, tolls, car parks, queues, tickets, all that. Yeah, avoiding queues and tickets. And you can buy fuel as well.
Yeah, it's a place you buy fuel. Just go in basically just on the automatic pumps, and just don't have to go then to the cashier.
Very handy. You can even
So yeah,
arrange upgrades to vehicle insurance, and yeah, park and ride facilities. You can pay for car washes. You can even book your ITV on it, your MOT.
and the park and rides obviously now quite big in places like Barcelona and Sevilla.
Yeah. Let's just get
And
onto
will
the last.
become.
Sorry, I'm just showing the app there.
Oh,
Yeah, so that tells you everything you can do, and there's all of the frequent use, paper use, electronic tolls, exclusive insurance, and yeah, lots of things. Oh, that does look really, really good. I'm impressed. There you go. So that's the
and it's
first one.
Europe wide as well. So if people going around Europe as well, it's handy for them.
Yeah, and I found this other one. Well, kind of accidentally. I went parking in Granada on street parking. You know, where you find a sticker on a lamppost saying if you want to park here, you need to pay through this app. So, and there are actually two different stickers, one for one app and one for another one. And I went for this one. And once I'd eventually signed up for it and gone through the whole process and put my bank details in, it's the sign up's not particularly nice when you're standing in 40-degree heat with your kids in the car and trying to set it up and put your bank details in and going backwards and forwards on your phone. But once it's set up, I could just pay for the parking on the street automatically, and it just takes it out your bank. And when I turned up one day in Mijas Costa, we drove into a car park, and the before we could even press a button or get a ticket, the barrier went up, and then there was no ticket came out. So we just drove in, and then we thought, well, how are we going to get out again? And we didn't know what had happened. So we went to the tourist information booth, which was just next door to the car park, and said, I don't know how we're going to get out of the car park. We just drove in and the barrier went up. And the woman on the desk said, do you by any chance have an app that you've used to pay for parking anywhere? And I said, oh yeah, I did that in Granada. So I looked at my phone, and it had already come up with a notification saying you're in this car park, and we'll charge it to your phone when you come out. And of course the barrier to get out just opened. It's recognised my registration number, so all sorted. And so this app does some similar things to the Bip&Drive. You can rent garage space, find a car park, do your airport car park, redeem coupons, pay for blue zone parking. Yeah, groovy.
I post paid a fine on there in Montreal. So at the Montreal police station, it's a blue zone outside, and I parked and didn't put a ticket in the window for whatever reason. And then I got a little ticket on the window, and it had a thing with a QR code, and it said, download this app and you can pay €3 now, or if in 24 hours, within 30 minutes, or within 2 hours, it was like €7. With 24 hours, it was going to be a €60 fine to my house. And I did it on that app and got away with it and never got a ticket through the post. So there you go.
Brilliant. How handy is that? Right.
Yeah.
So let me just let's get rid of the previous one and that one. Next one is AlertCops. Oh, this is really, really handy.
Yeah. This is a really handy application. Lucky, touch wood, I haven't had a need to use it myself, but this is fully in English. So if you have a problem with communicating in Spanish, or if you just arrived, then you can actually call the police or report something using this app on your phone. It's very, very handy to have, and probably one of the most essential ones, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. I've just got it. I've got it on my phone right now in front of me. You can report theft, robbery, assault. There's a button for deaf people, so that you can access all those services. You can report aggression or fights, sexual assault, gender violence, hate crimes, squatting, radicalisms, animal cruelty, lost or missing people, bullying. And there's also a special one for if you're walking the Camino de Santiago. You can let them know where you are, and if you get into trouble, there you go. And you can call or chat. So yeah, I think it's brilliant. Oh, there's an alert test. Oh, there's also vandalism and damage on the next page. So yeah, that looks amazing.
Yeah,
I've not
definitely
used
one
it
of the
yet.
top 5 to have, I'd say, on your phone when you're here.
Yeah, and it's available in various languages as well. So it's ideal for non-Spanish speakers. That's Spanish, English, French, German, Italian, Russian, and Basque. Very handy, especially if you walk in the Camino, because you'll probably start off in Basque. And it's operated by the National Police, the Guardia Civil, the Minister of the Interior. And yes, you can upload photos and audio which could be used later in court. Very, very handy. And it's even got GPS and an SOS button for immediate assistance, which presumably will give the police your GPS point so that they can find you very quickly. There you go. Brilliant. Yeah. So yes, that's an absolute must. Right out.
I mean, there's sometimes the police get a bit of bad press here for being quite old school, but I mean that's very innovative. You know, that's great. And bear in mind that the relationship in certain areas between like the Guardia Civil, the National Police, and the local police depends on where you are as to who handles what. So it's great to have it all in one place.
Absolutely, yeah. Very, very handy. I think I mean, Spain in terms of science and technology is really, really firing on all cylinders now. It's becoming one of their biggest exports. You know, it's overtaking a lot of things, and it's a big thing. Okay, so next article you've got all about food shopping in Spain without a car. All that you need to know.
Yeah, this article came about from, again, it was Jane who put this together, so I'm going to have to thank her for that. And a lot of things derive from what we talk about in the office, to be honest. And initially, this came from lockdown. But then, obviously, we realised this is quite a handy article for people who maybe don't have a car yet or are struggling who won't have a car. And it was part of our sort of drive and part of my talk to people about their decision of where they're actually going to live. And when we went through, we didn't realize how many places there were you could actually just order online and get deliveries. And now a lot of the services that were put in place in lockdown still stand. So Mercadona's online has been very similar to Tesco's in the UK, for example. You can just go online, choose your products, and they're delivered to your door.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
And it also saves your regular items. And also, if you do prefer to go and choose your items, both Mercadona, I think Dia Supermarket do as well. You can actually go get your trolley and then just say you want it delivering. And you stand there, sign off, and then they take your trolley off to a magical land where it arrives in your house.
Brilliant. So that looks quite an easy one. I've just clicked it onto English as well, so it's available in English. So if your Spanish isn't very good, you can understand what's going on. Brilliant. Okay, and there's one for as you can see on Upsticks article, you've got a link for Carrefour, you've got one for Eroski, Alcampo, and Condis. There's not a link for that one. Unfortunately, it says on here this was written in 2022 though. It says Aldi and Lidl are dragging their heels.
I might have to update that actually. I think they were. We've never used Aldi and Lidl. Now, Dia Supermarket, which I think when you actually go into a Dia, they look pretty naff. They always look unorganised to me. But they have their online portal is brilliant. That's the one that we used in lockdown an awful lot, and it was fantastic. So yeah, that was. There's definitely options there as well, and also check with your local providers. So if you don't have one of these big supermarkets close to you, a lot of the local shops actually do deliveries as well.
Our local Deer, I'm not sure if they do deliveries, but they're actually really well laid out. So we go in there a lot, and their bread is the best. So
really,
in Competa, out of all of the little, because we've got obviously we've not got hypermarket style shops in Competa. There's not the room, but there's still decent sized supermarkets. We've got an Eroski as well. And they've all got their specialities. Eroski's got a meat counter as well with a butcher there who can slice it how you like it.
Lara loves Deer. Lara likes Deer and Aldi. She said that's her two favourite places. So
I know.
to shop.
I didn't used to like Aldi in the UK. I don't know what it was about it. I just remember not liking it. But and we didn't have one nearby in Ireland, so yeah, we were always using different ones. Oh, there's also on this. Yeah, carry on.
Just saying, mention going back to Carrefour there, just one thing that you reminded me of. So the food shopping in Carrefour is great because that comes and you can get it delivered. The only thing is when you go on Carrefour's website and you order electronics, you just have to be a little bit careful because they have this sort of like an Amazon platform where sometimes it comes from a third provider.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's not actually directly from them. So just have a look when you go onto their electronics where it's actually coming from. Only reason is because when we bought a TV last year, and then when I looked into it, it turned out it was being delivered from someone else, and it looked a bit, I don't know, I backed out of it. But the food stuff's great.
Yeah, that doesn't have a button for translating into English. I can understand everything on it, and it's got pictures on it there as well. But of course, I have got this translation available anyway, so you can do that with Google or whatever you're on. So there you go. That helps.
For people with children and people got family coming over, if you're part of the Carrefour club, we don't, to be honest, we don't use Carrefour that much now. But when the kids were young, things like nappies, any baby products that you might need with the Carrefour club, you very, very often that it's all 3 for 2, and they're quite focused on that. And it was always the most reasonable place to buy our baby equipment.
Oh, that's handy. Looks like you can get a discount on your first order there as well. And yeah, lots of little discounts. 50% on picked mussels. Very nice.
Beer and Listerine, that's it.
Beer and Listerine, that's exactly. You can just mix the two. It's very handy. Get your teeth cleaned after you've been out on the raz.
Which one comes first?
Yeah. And you've got an article, it says here, about non-car travel. Have we got that coming? Oh, we'll do that next. But you've also got specialists in online food shops. There's foodie.es, Vegan Food Club, Zoo Plus for pet food and supplies. There's online pharmacies. And there's, visit your local weekly market. What's Mercadillo Semanal? Oh, it tells you where your local markets are. Oh, that's handy. Oh, you do it by province.
Yeah.
That's going to Malaga province. That's Malaga, isn't it? Yes. Oh, there you go. Oh, there's your local Fuengirola one. You could do that today. And Puerto Banús, Torremolinos, Marbella, Benalmádena. Oh, they've markets everywhere. Fantastic. Torrox Costa, that's my nearest one. Fantastic.
What we've noticed with the markets is the price of meat seems to have gone up, but the price of fish seems to sustain. So suddenly whereas fish used to be more expensive than meat, things you can have a cheap meal having meat, it seems to they've leveled off quite a bit. So, it's actually as cheap to get fish sometimes now as it is meat in the markets, which is great.
Cool. Nice. Yeah, especially for you. You eat loads of fish, don't you?
I do. I love fish.
And
you can eat. If you learn how to cook it, we had sardines last week. €12 worth of sardines was 3 kilos, and it fed 2 families. It's like
fabulous.
That and fresh bread.
Yeah, if you've got the sticks to do them on your fire, they're fantastic. Yeah. Might have them tomorrow. We're going to be going to a chiringuito in Malaga for that tomorrow. So Tiendio, that's another recommendation on this article. It's an app and website where you can check the best deals in your local area, download coupons, get cash back. Oh, look at that. That looks handy. Yeah, I'm going to have to save all of these on my favourites. And there's Glovo, that's a Spanish food delivery app.
That'll bring food to your office. We can verify that. That'll bring anything from curries to McDonald's, which isn't a good thing, probably. Forget that.
Yeah. How to get fat very quickly. Yeah. Just eat.es, that's a city focused one. Uber Eats, you've not got a link to that, but that's easy to find. Wetaka, that's a weekly subscription service with natural ingredients, personalized menus. food in the box. That's another similar thing. It's got veggie and low carb options and things like that. Oh, so there's loads on this article. There's so much that you can access. That's brilliant.
Yeah. It's worth tagging that article because I think we assume that, and even that, you're used to having deals in the UK when you come over here, you don't really look for them for food and stuff, but you can, there is a lot out there. A lot of it be localized, depending on where you are. Like, so it's different for you in Compta than me and Ala in, but you definitely can get deals.
Yeah, absolutely. Can I just let everybody know that the links to all of these articles and apps are in the video description below. There's a huge list, and it's the one I've got in front of me now that I'm using to access them now. So very easy to do. And let's just check on the live chat because I saw some interesting things coming up. Oh, no, thanks, by the way, to whoever it was clicked on our donate button in the top corner, the top left-hand corner there. Thank you for your donation. And Gino Monaco says good morning from Toronto in Canada. And Kev the Argonaut is with us. Oh, Robbo's asked an interesting one. What is Amazon Prime delivery like in Spain? Used to be a little bit difficult from my experience, but I think it was to do with the delivery company they were using. I'm not going to mention their name. They were slow in the past, and it was taking more than 2 or 3 days to get there when it's supposed to be there next day. But recently, it was only 2 or 3 weeks ago, I ordered something which I had impossibility in terms of delivery until recently, and it arrived the next day. Everything has started arriving the next day. I ordered something on Thursday, and I got a notification that it was in yesterday, and I'm picking it up today from my local shop where I get things delivered. So how's it with you, Chris? Do you order from Amazon?
Yes, we do. So we use business Prime. So I can't actually get Amazon to my house because we live a little bit in the country, and it's not, the only thing that we can get there is the Chinese delivery man, which is cool. Yeah. The Amazon to the business works really well. When they use depending on the supplier, sometimes they use the Correos Express. Mm-hmm. So Amazon, with the Amazon vans, works extremely well. Prime always turns up the next day. It's very rare it's late. But when they use Correos, sometimes they make a mistake. So we had them where we had paper on the monthly revolving things. We need about a box a month. And one day they couldn't deliver it. And they never attempted a second delivery. They just took it to the post office and gave us a notification. I didn't realize what it was. And then obviously I asked Lara to go and pick it up. And imagine when you go there and someone says, there you go. You can carry it. It's ridiculous. And it was all. So, yeah. But no, generally, Amazon Prime is pretty good. I say on the business platform it always turns up. Mm-hmm.
Brilliant.
For those people who've got businesses, what you have to be a little bit aware of is this, again, the source of the product, because we bought some chairs and we couldn't download the proper factura, and Antonio told me off and said, well, this hasn't gone through customs, and I don't know, Amazon give it to me. Yeah. And it turns out it was a Chinese supplier who didn't give us the proper thing, and I couldn't write off the expense for the office chairs. So you just have to be a little bit careful where you're ordering from if you need a bill. Yes,
absolutely, and you can see it on the page of the item that you're ordering, whether it's an Amazon item or not. Yeah. Saxtabulous featuring Jude Madden says, morning from brand new Marina Alta resident yesterday. Oh, welcome to Spain. And by the way, Aldi UK and Aldi South, which includes Spain, are different companies. That's very good to know. Thank you. So I think there's a relatively new Aldi somewhere near us. Is it no, Nerja's got one. I think it might be Torox. I can't remember now. Anyway, JM has a good question. Just downloaded AlertCops. Can I fill in my details before I need to report anything, please? I don't want to start a full-scale alert when I have nothing to report. I think you can.
I believe you can. I think when you sign up, yeah.
I think
and then they'll have all your details pre-registered.
Yeah, I think it wouldn't make sense if you couldn't do that without alerting them, because you definitely need to do it. You don't want to be doing it when you're stuck, with a broken leg, fallen over somewhere. Although it's not actually that's probably not the same app that you want to use. You would use the 112 app if you had a broken leg and you needed to call the emergency services. But if you wanted to, if somebody was breaking into your house, oh no, that would be an emergency as well. If you're reporting some vandalism somewhere, then you don't want to be filling in your details before you do that. So it's a yes anyway, after all that rambling. Phil Quantrill says, morning from a not sunny Mojaca, from Phil and Kim. Oh, that's a shame. I'm sure you'll get some more sun tomorrow or the next day.
Morning, Phil.
And Steffi says, I heard that the Canaries can't use Amazon. Do you know if that's correct? Don't know.
Oh, I can find out. I don't know. We'll ask Jess, who's my sister-in-law, works with us over there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Shall we ask?
Yeah, ask, and we'll report back on that. Or does anyone else live in the Canaries that can answer that question that's on the live chat today? If you are, then tell us all. Brilliant. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Oh, how to travel in Spain without a car. There's an app for that. Fantastic. Tell us about that.
Yes, this article again came from a chat in the office, and it's an enumeration of all the apps that you'd need if you haven't got a car and need to travel in Spain. So obviously there's everything there on this article, from taxis to the bus link to trains, and then obviously the car sharing apps which do work here in Spain. BlaBlaCar. Yeah, I was with some clients yesterday actually who don't have a car and travel not only around Spain but around Europe using public transport and the BlaBlaCar just to plug in the gaps of when they couldn't get a train somewhere. They said it's absolutely amazing.
Brilliant. Yeah. And there's another two, Amovens and Amicoche, two of the Spanish ones. Brilliant. Oh, take the initiative and ask if your employer or school already has a carpooling offering or WhatsApp group. Now that's a good idea. Set one up for yourself.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And there's different bus services. Yeah, what were you going to say?
I say you could do that now because you've got some experience with organising going up and down to Malaga, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely. We do have a WhatsApp group called Skatz Lifts, and I just put up another appeal because a lot of the people who were initially driving me have hopped off on holiday for a couple of weeks. So I put an appeal out, and I've got about another 10 people who are now listed on there as well. So and because my first stage of my treatments finishing in a week and a bit, I'm already loaded up with people and full, and they're all going, oh no, I wanted to give you a lift. So sorry to disappoint you all, but we're going on to stage 2 soon, and that's going to get more complicated because I think I'm going to have to be in Malaga for most of the day. So I'll have to get somebody drop me off in the morning and somebody else pick me up in the evening. So we'll have 2 people on a day, but it's only one day every 3 weeks, and that might change depending on what happens with my blood test results. And so it's going to get a bit more complicated. So yeah, a WhatsApp group is perfect for that because everybody gets a message at the same time. Okay, loads of different bus companies on your article there.
I've used the Alsa app for the buses. I've used on a few occasions. We went to Madrid once using that app, and also for the family when they've been places, and I've just organised their tickets, and it's so easy to use. It's really, really good and very reasonable as well.
Yeah, brilliant. And it's available in lots of different languages as well. So there we go. That's handy to know. Yeah. Oh, it's got so much. I like the menus. Good app.
That's a fantastic app for buses.
Brilliant. And there's a Vantha blah blah bus. I didn't realise there was a blah blah bus. There we go. Trainline website. Yeah. I've booked via Trainline before when we were in Italy, and that was brilliant. And there's also some free and heavily discounted rail fares that the Spanish government announced in 2022.
The only problem with the Spanish government cheap tickets is when you go on the links that they send you, you can never get on it because about 50 million people trying to do the same. They do like a Spanish government Ryanair sale, and I was trying to get ones to Madrid, see if I could get them on the fast one, and you're now in number 10,462, and then it timed out. So they don't always work those, but
yeah, you've got to be quick. Oh, so many things. There's rent fee, getting around. Oh, there's so much on this article. Well done to you and Jane. That's Google. There's even Google Maps, Rome to Rio, comparison function, Movelt, Consorcio app. Oh, that brings everything in Malaga under one umbrella. Oh, that's very handy.
Yeah.
Organised tours for, for foodies, history buffs, wine lovers. I'll just stop at wine lovers. That's the one we want. And there we go. I'll let you all dig into that one. I'd say go on that article and find everything that you need to know about travelling in Spain without a car. I know there's a lot of people will approve of that because public transport saving the planet.
And plus, it's quite handy if you live maybe in, I don't know, just give an example, Alarid de la Torre, and you want to go to Malaga, and none of you want to drive because you want to enjoy yourself and have a beer. Then these kind of apps help. Everything from Uber to the bus apps. So you don't have to use your car even if you've got one.
Yeah, absolutely. Paul Nipper's asked an interesting question. Is there an app or website to highlight bogus law firms or companies who prey on those moving to Spain? I've not seen one.
No, nor have I.
And I think you'd be in quite a lot of danger if you started a website and accidentally dissed a law firm that wasn't a bogus law firm or had just made a mistake or whatever. Then you'd be fighting a law firm and needing a law firm yourself. So, yeah, that's not an app or a website that somebody's going to make a lot of money off, I think, unless they're very, very daring. So that's my opinion anyway.
Yeah.
There we go. So back to the list. We're about halfway through, aren't we? Although we've not got halfway through the complete list of what we want to talk about. Let's just do one or two more articles before we get to the halfway stage. Being a good neighbour in Spain, the Gecor or Gecor, is that?
Yeah. So it was actually Bill Anderson that put me onto this app, believe it or not, and it was how to report stuff in your local neighbourhood to your town hall.
Oh.
And you can do it on an app.
Very handy. Very, very handy.
And it's quite good because then you do have a digital trail of what you've reported as well.
So you can download the app from this site there. There you go. Platform of citizen participation. Automatically opened it in English. That was handy. Maybe
so things like, even if there's things that need doing, if you all get together, instead of, if you can imagine that there's a pothole and you're in your community, there's 30 houses maybe. Not everybody's on there, but then you could use that to report it.
Yeah, because most people do it in Computer. You see it all on the social groups on Facebook, and that's where they report it. And then you get somebody from the from the office going, you need to report it to us, and then we'll do something about it. So, and that's the place you do it. Fabulous. That's a really good one. And there's Bill on his, this is the video with Bill Anderson, which shows you how to install and use the app. Brilliant. Well done, Bill. We'll have to have him back on the show again.
Yeah, you should do.
Yes, indeed. So, document quality is the key to success with Spanish public administration. What's this one all about?
This is an article that we wrote and we continue to send out because we get naff copies of documents that we can't use or read or illiterate illegible,
Illegible.
and we can't not illiterate, doesn't illegible documents, and it just means we can't do our job. So, but a lot of people obviously, struggle to send good copies, or struggle to send stuff on email. And this is basically an explanation and introduces people to places which can assist you in putting documents in the right format to send across on email or something like that. The I Love PDF app and website is absolutely fantastic. That is free. We use it quite regularly in the office, and you can do everything. The main thing there is you can compress your PDFs. You can exchange your JPEGs for PDFs, make them JPEGs to PDFs, or in reverse if that's what you want to do. You can merge PDFs, but for people who are, say, preparing their renewal documentation for an NLV, this is crucial. This app. And
do PDF to Excel. That is, how do they do that?
It's fantastic. It's free as well. It's fantastic.
Oh, fantastic! And OCR as well, optional character recognition onto PDF. That is good stuff. I remember when OCR came out, and it wasn't very accurate, but it's brilliant now with the AI. Fantastic. That's another one to save.
If you're moving to Spain and you need to organise documents, that's one definitely need to stay in, and please watch the video, which explains what it is as well.
Yeah. Brilliant. And there is the video. Fabulous. Right. Tell you what then. Let's go to halfway. It's about time. We had some information all about all of the things available to you on YouTooSpain, and in featuring me and my alter egos, all of those voices inside my head. And here it is. It's not going to finish early this time. I've corrected that fault. The last 2 weeks it's got cut off before the end, and I found out what the problem is. So anyway, see you all in 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Are you getting the most out of YouTooSpain? I don't know. Did you know that apart from these Saturday morning live shows with expert guests, or expats with really exciting stories to tell, it's like the Graham Norton show. Bah! There are videos every Wednesday evening, packed with all the information you need, so we can move to Spain and enjoy living here without paying tax. No, Colonel, that's illegal. But you can find out how to navigate the bureaucracy successfully. Well said, Walter. How do I find the videos? Just subscribe to the YouTube channel, darling. And click on the bell, you useless Colonel. There's a playlist here called Video Diaries. Oh, now that is Skatz's thrilling personal story about his life and health in Spain. Still alive! Hashtag FOF. You can support YouTooSpain as well, my darlings, if you think you've learned something valuable, or if you've been entertained. Skatz looks like he needs your support. The poor bugger can't even stand up. If he was a horse, I'd shoot him. Colonel! He's not a very nice man. It's all right. He's just a two-dimensional stereotype. Aren't we all, sweetie? I'm not. Brexit! Moving on! So how do we support YouTooSpain? Use the QR code in the corner. Or there's a link in the video description below. I can't find it anywhere, darling. In the video description, you idiot. I've warned you, Colonel. I'll send you back to the nunnery. While you're watching or pausing, below the video, you'll see the title. Just here. Oh, I see it. Not far below that, there's a description of what the video is all about. It says, read more. That's right. Just click or tap on that and lots more text appears. What's the information all about? There's contact information for the expert guests and lots of links to other related companies that I recommend. And they help out YouTooSpain if you use those links to get in touch with them. There's so much down below. Does anyone have a pen? No need, Tommy. You can find everything on our website. YouTooSpain.com. And don't forget the Facebook page. And the YouTooSpain community group, where you can talk to other people like you. There's no one like me, sweetie.
thank goodness. Is that everything? There's a guest waiting to tell me things. Oh, I do like things. Where's Doogie Dog? That used to be his line. I'm stuck behind a wall.
Oh, sorry, Doogie. I'll come and find you after the show.
Thank you, Master.
Get back to the show. I need to go and punch some servants.
Oh, Colonel. Back to Skatz in the studio.
And here I am, the real Skatz. Thank you to all of my alter ego voices. And I've actually changed some of the information that's down in the video descriptions from now on because of an app that we're going to talk about in a minute called Linktree, which basically puts all of your links all in one place. It's fantastic. It's changed my life. And you get an app which is, it just basically takes you, the one link takes you through to a load of buttons which are all laid out beautifully so you can see everything about what you do. Anyway, I'll display it on the screen in a minute. In the meantime, let's get on to the next thing that we need to share. The next special app. Oh, that's the one we were just talking about. Let's get rid of that one. Renewing your Spanish driving license. This is talking about the DGT website, isn't it? Tell us about this, Chris.
Yes, this is MiDGT. So this is the app. So this was always talking about renewing it as well. But this is the app, I think, that we were saying about how you can have your driving license actually on your phone so you don't have to carry it.
Mm-hmm.
So this is something that the Spanish have embraced absolutely. We've having, especially younger Spanish, there's quite a huge divide. Now, I don't know in the UK if it's the same other places, but it's very rare that you see anybody now who's under 35 actually carrying any cards or driving license, because they just basically have their bank card on their phone and their driving license on their phone. Mm-hmm. And there is a movement to actually have the electronic DNE on the phone. So basically, as long as your phone's charged, you're going to have an electronic ID, driving license, and a payment method, which is handy for a country where a lot of people spend their time on the beach. But yeah, the MiDGT, if you've got a digital certificate or a clavi or one of the government's processes to recognize you legally on a device, you can actually just have your aside from having your driving license on your phone, you can check if you've got any fines, you can check what vehicles you own, and you can even order things like note informativas to check information on other videos, on other vehicles. Sorry.
Fabulous, yeah, and it just shows you on the screen there all the different pages you can get. Fantastic. Yeah, I've used that.
I used it for driving license, and recently we used it when Lara had to update something on her driving license, and it didn't come back properly. But because it'd been issued, she managed to get it up on her app, so it's perfectly legal. Mm-hmm. Before the actual physical card arrived.
Fantastic. So they accept it. The police accept it. That's brilliant. Yep,
they do accept it. And you can see also there, you can check your points as well. And you can also set up things like text message notifications. So when you do get caught speeding, then you'll get a notification to say you've got a notification, so you can not miss it, download it and pay it.
Brilliant. I don't know if I've got that set up yet. I'm going to do that afterwards. There. Brilliant.
And I know this really good YouTube channel which did a video on how to pay a fine as well, if you want to look at it.
Oh, yeah. Brilliant.
It's one of my most popular videos.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and I would advise everybody to get a digital certificate. They're so handy. Can you get them if you're a non-resident?
Yes. Yeah, you can actually, as long as you've got an NIE number.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, the problem is the verification. So we recently had one. There's a few ways with a complete show, but obviously you can get the digital certificate from the FMNT, where you order your own digital certificate. They give you a code. You then go to an official office to verify you are who you are, and it will allow you to download the software. Recently, we had a problem with a client who was had a switch from an NLV to an EU family member, and during that switch, their residency card expired. They were just waiting for the resolution. That was fine. They could stay in Spain, but because the residency card expired, they wouldn't let them verify the digital certificate in the town hall. So, which is a bit ridiculous because the NIE doesn't change. So in those circumstances, actually, we got the assistance of our accountant, who has a thing called Cama Firma, which authorizes them to request the verification on the client's behalf. So we managed to get the digital certificate that way.
Brilliant.
So there's various ways to get around it.
And there's a how-to guide link on that article showing you how to get your digital certificate. Can't do that with my new teeth. Yeah, brilliant. That looks easy to follow. Good. Okay.
Yeah, the MiDGT is a good app to have.
Yeah, absolutely. Next one, driving in Spain. Oh, eco stickers. All you need to know about that.
Right, we need to, I'll tell you what, and we're going to update this article now because they are now going to start to implement the towns which have a population of more than 50,000 people are going to be obliged to not allow high polluting vehicles on the B sticker, for example, in the middle of them. And I still haven't seen this put in action, but I was in Torremolinos on Tuesday, I think it was, on Tuesday morning, and one of the panels going into Torremolinos said this is a test panel for a low emission zone. So that's the first time I've seen anything come up, but they're definitely starting to implement this now.
Very good to know. And you can go to, there's a link on here, visit the DGT website in English, put your license plate in there, and let's just get that out of the way. Yeah, put your license plate in there and search, and it tells you what to do. Or you can get a sticker holder. For that, you can get your environmental sticker, or you can also get the V16 emergency beacon. Although I've been told they're not quite set up properly yet, and it's not coming in until 2026. So it's not worth getting them yet. But what do you think, Chris?
I got one straight away. They told me that's not good. I didn't get rid of my triangles. I thought if I break down, I'm going all out. Triangles and V6. Like, there we go.
Yeah, you may as well play it safe.
Yeah, it's just handy for things like jokes aside, if Lara was to break down with the kids on her own, but I wouldn't want to get out on the motorway, so just bang that on top anyway, and even if it's not set up, it'll warn people you're there.
Brilliant. Okay, then.
It's worth mentioning that the stickers you can also get from the post office. So if you go with vehicle documents, they can order a sticker for you. And when I was in Murcia, I saw that La ITA ITV stations actually give them to you there as part of a promotion if you don't have one.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Very, very good. Oh, we've got some questions. Phil's got a good question. What's the difference between a digital certificate and a clave, please?
So the clave is from Hacienda. It's very similar. It has the same sort of process, but you have to get a verification code from Hacienda rather than the FNMT, which is the it's the Royal Mint, should we call it? Now, believe it or not, I actually use on my computer my digital certificate, but on my mobile phone I use my clave. Because I found it works a lot better. And so for the MiDGT app, I use clave rather than the digital certificate. And you have to get that, you need to get a code from Hacienda. Now, the problem with this is they do have on a website where you can contact them or you can arrange a video call, but they never get a video call. And they never contact you. So the best way to do it is to actually go to an Hacienda office, get that code, get it verified there, and then you have it on your mobile the whole time.
Brilliant. That's good to know. I've just got the digital certificate, not the clave, but seems to be able to access everything okay.
Yeah, and you can have digital certificate and clave. And if one is not working that well, you can go between the two. I struggled with the digital certificate on my MiDGT app, and then I said, well, I'm just going to use my clave, and it worked an absolute treat. And also with Clabby, if you've got fingerprint recognition on the screen with your mobile phone, that's what it uses to initiate the Clabby and verify its use. So it's good.
Oh, no, that's handy. Maybe I'll get one of them
Yeah.
then. And JM says, my husband has just got his Polish passport. Would it be possible to have a session on what to expect at airports with it and how it affects the 90 and 180 for the future, perhaps? We'll put that on the list, shall we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good one. Thanks for the suggestion, JM.
Yes, e-use is great.
Yeah. Fantastic. Makes everything easier. So, next one. Oh, this is about the town halls in Spain have an app. And you said no idea if anyone uses them though, but this is an example of the Malaga one that we have on screen now. What's on there? Well, it tells you about the feria.
You can download all these apps which tell you about there's so much going on. We found, again, I think this came from a conversation of finding out that, you have to be on various Facebook groups to find out what's going on. Is there anywhere that you can actually find out, everything in one place? And this was the list of apps that came up. So you got one with museums, etc. So
great.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to save that. Yes. Okay. I won't look at that now. I've just gone into that looks very interesting. I must have a look at the whatever the one is for computer as well. Superb.
We also saw that recently the Alicante has introduced AI to answer free FAQs, and apparently they resolved 20,000 inquiries in a month. And they've announced that in Madrid. Some people there's a bit of kickback. Some people say, I don't want my question answered by a bot. But then, to be honest with you, if you get the right answer, what does it matter?
Yeah, absolutely. And they're getting better. They're there to help our great AI overlord masters. So, this one is a Wildfire Watch, Andalusia and Valencia. This is one that I find very, very handy. And because we've had wildfires, we have them up in the mountains. We did have them on a regular basis a couple of years ago. They don't seem to be as much in our area recently. But it's always good to know. And you get instant notifications of anything in the area. And also tells you how many helicopters are there and how many firefighters are there. And there's photographs and videos showing where it is. So very, very handy if it affects what you're doing. Yeah. You had big fires in your area, didn't you? Was it last year?
It was no, it was the year before actually. So it was it last year or was it? I did a video on that and I can't remember now.
Yeah.
I went up to the mountains to see the aftermath. I think it was the year before. Because I remember because my parents were here and we could see the fire from my house, which is a bit scary. But yeah, it wiped out so much. I did a 10-minute video. I went up and I saw the mountains, and then after that I went up with a friend of mine and did a trek. And the devastation up there is just shocking. I mean, it's changed for a whole generation. I mean, you don't realize it. If you go to the mountains, I used to go up there before and to a place called Jarapalos, and then I went up there with my friend just to show him the route, and it's just changed the whole generation. There's going to be a generation of people who aren't going to see the mountain how I saw it before it all burnt down. It's terrible. Yeah,
absolutely. We had about in our first 6 months here, I think we had 3 or 4 really. And 2 of them were literally 50 yards from our house. So, that was scary. And the videos and pictures were all from my phone showing it, telling everybody how it was going on. And just shows you how quickly they move. So I've got that on my phone. It's one of my emergency things. I've got an emergency box like that where you can't see it big enough on the screen, but I've got AlertCops 112 and Wildfire Watch all in the same place on my phone, so they're very easy to find. So yeah, that's a brilliant one. Next one, the health app. This is Click Salud.
You probably know more about this now with everything that's been going on.
Yeah, absolutely. This is it's where you've got your personal data you can access with your digital certificate, or clave, and you get your appointments listed on there, and you can get your blood tests. You can make appointments. It's got your health records. Anything else that's on there that you can do?
This is the Andalusia one, isn't it? It's just for Andalusia.
Yeah.
So,
I presume they have them for other areas as well.
Yeah, it'd be handy if anybody knows and uses apps from other areas. They could let us know. I think there's on one of our articles. There's one for Alicante, but we've not got any practical experience there because we don't use them there. So.
And you can also use it to display your COVID certificate as well, which was a lot more important, obviously, a few years ago. But yeah, it just means you don't have to carry around your certificate with you. It's all on your phone. So yeah, I've used that. It's very good.
A very handy. That's brought up a thing that one of our clients went through. When they went to register their S1, they requested to see previous COVID certificates. And they didn't have them on them because they couldn't get them up on the UK app because they'd left and told them they'd left. So that's something we definitely haven't been telling people to do. Or keep your old, we say bring your medical records if you've got them, especially if you're on an S1, but definitely keep all old COVID certificates if you're coming to Spain, just in case you get asked for them.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I've not been asked for one. Yeah. Okay. So that is a good one. And here's an app that I use all the time. There are various other apps that you can get from this, but this tells you the hourly price of electricity in Spain if you're on the variable rate, which a lot of Spain are. I don't know the percentage of Spain is, but we use this all the time. So, and it tells you each hour there's a different tariff. So we always make sure we put on, if we're putting on the dishwasher or something like that, or washing clothes, we make sure it's at a time when the electricity is cheap. So that's brilliant. Do you use one of them? Have you got variable rate?
I've got kids. Just goes mad. I couldn't even use as much as I try. I've never used that. We did try doing a structured plan, and then it just didn't work. Probably hectic life. Unfortunately, you always end up putting something on. I need it now. Yeah. Maybe when they're a little bit older and I can get them to understand. I'm still at the stage of running around turning lights off and sounding like my parents are going, "It's like Black Bloody Nations in here." So
you could give the job to Raoul of organising how to get your electricity price down and give the app to him.
He would love that.
Yeah. If he's in charge of it, then he'll be telling you to do stuff as well.
I'll write that down. Raoul, you got a new job. I'll give you 50% of everything we save. There you
go. Fantastic. Then he'll have to work it all out. 0.04. That's a good price. There you go. Yeah. So next one. What is this one? Oh yes. Oh, this is Too Good To Go. Oh, this is our favourite app of the day, isn't it? Yeah. Combats all of the what does that translate that for us?
Wastage. So it's food wastage. So it's combating food wastage. This was an app that my sister, who's just come over, recently introduced me to. Apparently it's huge in the UK, but we didn't know it existed in Spain, and it does.
It's fantastic. It doesn't work. There's not very much in our area, but tell us how it works.
So basically, you download the app. I've used it twice now in preparation for this video because I was completely intrigued. And you basically download it on your phone, and then on the app you can see what local shops are offering food packages or stuff which could be slightly they can't sell on because it's going to be out of date soon or something like that. So it's just too good to go. It means it's good food, but it's not good enough to chuck in the bin. So we found there's a lot of fruit shops, bread shops and stuff who are offering even things like garages, offering like at the end of the day the packages out the fridge that you can go and pick up the sandwiches might be going off the next day or something like that. There's a star
what it
rating.
looks like on the page. Let's put that up to there. Yeah, there you go. Carry on.
Yeah, they've got a star rating, and I've used it twice. I used it once after seeing you in Malaga to buy beer, believe it or not.
Of course.
I was intrigued. That didn't quite work out. I don't think the guy at the place really got the full gist of what the app is actually for. It's supposed to be saving food that would normally be thrown in the bin. But I have to say, I made a very nice friend, and it was in a craft beer place, which I'd never ever would have discovered if it wasn't for this app. And I did walk away with 4 extremely nice craft beers from around Andalusia, instead of 24 as I read it wrong. I think it translated it on my phone into English for some reason, and I didn't read it properly. But never mind. But hey, that was an experience. But then the second time we used it, I used it in a cake shop. So I picked up, and this experience, I say, would be more in kin of what you should use the app for. So I picked up my daughter from gymnastics. It was like 6:30 in the evening after work, and I said, "Oh, let's go and have a look at the app because I've got a live show and I need to tell somebody how it works." And we looked, and literally around the corner there was a cake shop, which is quite a famous one in Alarin de la Torre because everybody gets their big palmeras for the birthday parties from there. And they had this pack for €3. And I said, right, and it said pick it up between 6:30 and 8. And it was like about 6:45. So I said, right, let's buy it. So there you go. So we bought it on the app. You get just a code. It automatically charges your Google Pay or whatever you set up. And we went round to the shop, and you show them your mobile phone like that. They just literally swipe it, picked up. They get paid. And that's the cakes that we got for €3.
That's amazing. Then they'd be, what, you'd probably only get 2 for €3 of those. At the most.
Oh yeah, easy. Yeah, I think there'd be $1.75 probably each, if not €2 each. And it came on a tray, which was I think the tray would have been about 30 centimeters, about the size of a ruler, and long. You can see that, and it was just that would be €15 probably worth of cakes because they're good quality cakes as well from that shop. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with them. They're just the day before, and what they'd had left over from previous orders, and the family thoroughly enjoyed that for €3. And we said, well, it's great if you're going to someone's house, as quite often our kids do after school, and you want to take something with you, then look at the app and see what's about. And I think it's a bit of experimenting, but I think it's a great app. And also, you're saving food that we should normally be thrown away.
Yeah, saving the planet again.
Yeah,
fabulous. Let's just check.
I'm not too sure my 4 craft beers were saving the planet, but
no, in a way they were. Psychologically,
supporting small local businesses. That's what I like to say.
Yeah, there you go. And Robbo says, with Spanish home insurance, if a fire is caused by a device with a UK plug, would this invalidate any claim? So we have several Ninja cooking devices we'll be bringing over, amongst other things. It's an interesting question, isn't it? Electrical fire.
I'd put a Spanish plug on it. Maybe. Sam,
be the
Sam. Yeah. I suppose if they see there's a faulty, it's a good question. I would probably, if possible, put a Spanish plug on all your devices anyway, which would save the need for what they call inverters.
Adapter.
Adapter, that's it.
Yeah, the thing is, we've still got loads of 4-way trailing big long lead 4-way socket plugs that with UK ones on them, which have all got thingies to stop the charge, to stop problems. Fuses, that's the thing, and also the things that click off if there's any kind of spark. But anyway, yeah, we've got quite a few of those, the safety plugs. So we're using those, which means if one of the adapters did have a problem, then it would just shut down anyway. So there we go.
And what I would say is obviously a lot of the time now the electrical boxes and wherever you live, whatever, they should be to a certain standard, so they'll click off anyway. But if you do buy anything electrical, don't buy them from the cheapy shops. Always buy them from a registered fretteria shop, because it'll always have so if in an investigation, if something did happen and they found the plug and they were like, well, it's not even got European conformity, it hasn't got the EU sticker, you got it from a Chinese shop, for example, then you could be in trouble. Where if it's a registered, if it's a proper product, you don't really save that much nowadays. It used to be you get them for 50 cents from the Todo Cien, you know, the 100 peseta shop, and then the fretteria would be a fiver. But now you'll find there's not much difference. So you might as well get it from the proper hardware store.
Yeah, and support your local hardware store as well. That's always the thing to do. Ant says, is there a Chiringuito app? Well, if there is, I'll be searching for it. There we go.
You should make one.
Yeah, that's a good idea. John the Joiner has an off-piste question. What's the vibe with tourist protests and Brits buying little properties in proper Spanish residential areas? We speak Spanish, have lived there and want to live in their community. Is there a problem with that? I don't think there is. Yeah.
I don't know. We live just by default a very Spanish lifestyle, because our kids go to public Spanish school. We've always lived in Spanish areas rather than in areas with more immigrants, and we've never had a problem. In fact, we're with some of our best friends today, and they're Spanish. So yeah, no, I think you haven't got a problem there at all.
Yeah. Cool. Right. Moving on to the next app, which is Yuka. Somebody suggested this one to me. Oh, it was my music mate, Mitch. This is something that looks at, let's see, what do? You scan the barcode and it tells you the health impact of the product that you're looking at. So particularly food products and cosmetics, very handy. It tells you how many calories, how much salt there is, how many additives. It's a 100% independent product. There's no advertising on there, and evaluating the quality of your foods. That looks very, very handy. I've not tried it out yet. There you go, crispy tortilla.
We'll have to have a look at that. I haven't seen that.
No, there we go. That's a recommendation. This I've got the Windy app. There are lots and lots of weather apps, but I always found this one really handy. It's kind of best specialised weather app in its category, outdoor activities, leisure and sports. I think it was set up by some people who wanted to do, the water sports like sailing, surfing, fishing. It was especially set up by surfers, I think. So, and they always want to know what's happening and where. And they need to know the wave direction, the wave height, the wind direction, wind gusting speeds, and the temperatures and the tides, all kinds of things. So I think it's you can try it for free, and then if you want all of the features of it, you have to pay. But I've always found it relatively accurate. You can never be completely accurate with a weather app. We were looking at it the other day and it said it's raining now, and we looked out and it was blazing sunshine. So sometimes it just hits it really wrong, but you get just little patches of weather up here in the mountains, and sometimes you just don't know.
Yeah, I've got a patch right here. This is why I had to put my sunglasses on, because I couldn't see what you were doing. But then right here, if you can see it, there's a big patch coming over there behind me. But where I'm sat, it's I'm turning my favourite summer colour red.
Yay. So, moving along quickly, because we don't want this show to go on for 2 hours. Oh, no, what have I done? Stop sharing. Didn't mean to do that. We need to go on to that button there and get off that one. Oh, yes, somebody said Schengen Simple, of course. The best way of finding out, I say it's the best way, I've reviewed all of these 9180 day apps, and this one stood out way up and above all of the rest. So I'd recommend that you get that if you want to know anything about 9180. It makes the whole thing simple, and it's the only one that if you've already got something booked in the future and you wanted to book something, it's the only one that can actually look both forwards and backwards and see how that affects whether you need to rebook the one that's further in the future than the one that you're trying to book right now. So it's a lot more of a complicated algorithm that they've put into it. Means that you can never overstay, and that you won't overstay on that holiday in the future that you might have already booked your tickets for, and you can't get a refund. So, and and it also, there's also parts of the app that if you click on it, that you can show passport control. This is where I went, this is when I left, and this is where I'm going in the future. And as you can see, this is my total days, this is my 180-day window, and it's all there in front of you, in front of them as well. And you get a deep understanding of all of the countries that are EU and non-EU, and where you can go and what you can do. So very handy. And that's just on the Apple Store at the moment, on the App Store. But they are bringing out in the next couple of months the Android version. So there you go. I'll advertise that one any day. So moving on to this little thing. I used to have a digital business card that was an actual card as well, that you can just tap on somebody's phone and it brings up a business card with loads of different profiles on it, but it wasn't quite working properly. So I found this free one, which is called HiHello, and I've got that on my phone, and it means that you can get let's see, I'll get it on my phone and I can show you HiHello. And let's just take this off the screen so you can see me in bigger, and I'll show it to you. So I have 3 different profiles on there, and it's all graphically represented really, really nicely and all colourful. So if you want to know anything about my music thing, for a start, I've got Skatz Gigs, the Skatz Man, and it opens up this profile, and you can see further down it's got, I'll have to look at it to read it, it's got an email address to contact me, a WhatsApp, it's got a promotional video, it's got my Skatz music page on Facebook, and the WhatsApp. The other one was a telephone number. So and it tells you everything you need to know. So you can just, and if you send, and you can share that link, there's a share button on the bottom, and you can send it to people as an email, or you can send it as a text, and all they do is they open it up and they can access all of that information all in one place, and play a video with me showing what kind of music I do and what my act is like and what I look like on stage. So that's brilliant for that. And there's a business card for everything to do with YouTooSpain, and it brings all of that up. It's got the website, the YouTube channel, the Facebook page, and the Facebook community group. And I should really put an email address on that one as well, so you can find out. And then there's just another one that I set up for my details if I just wanted to send my phone number to somebody, and my WhatsApp page. And it's even got a Google map to where my house is if I wanted to tell people how to get a delivery to me or something like that. That is just extremely handy. Digital business cards, it's the future. And
fantastic. I've seen that before. That looks really good.
Yeah. And that version is totally free. There is a pricing thing where you can put loads more information on there. You could put your whole business on there. It almost takes over from being a website. You can put, like for example, for Liz, my wife's business, she has different prices for different massages and different aromatherapy oils and things like that. You can put all of the pricing on there. You can have different pages which are all down there, all on the one page, all under the one link, and it's fantastic.
That's good. That could be a good way for us to inaugurate all of our articles. So I've been sort of trying to extract the articles that relate to stage 1, stage 2, and different various stages of moving to Spain. That could be a good place to store them all and send them to people.
I think there's an even better way, which also uses HiHello, and that's what I just discovered the other day. It was actually my son Oscar who showed it to me, and he says it's the future. It's like 40 million people using it. All of the kids use it. It's called Linktree, and this is what I was talking about before, that I've now got just one link for all of my other links. I'm showing it on my screen but not on yours. show it to. It's everything you are in one simple link in your bio. So you put it in your biography section on whatever social media you're on, and people who click on that can then see basically you are the trunk of the tree, and you're one link that takes you to that trunk, and then you've got all of these branches going off. So that business card that I told you about, that was all about Skatzman, my music stuff, that's one of the branches, and it takes you to a little button, and that button takes you to your HiHello page. And there's another button which says on your Linktree, there's another button which says everything to do with YouTooSpain. That takes you to my business card, which has all of the links on there. And there's another one that says donate to GoFundMe, and that takes you to my GoFundMe page. And there's another one which is linked to the BuyMeACoffee.com, and there's another one, let's get it up on my phone and I can see it, Linktree, yeah, and you just have your profile on the page. And there's also my music page, which is on SoundCloud. That's a site where you can get all of my self-written music tracks. You can also put links on there which take you to affiliate links. So I've got Smart Currency Exchange on there. You can get a link which takes you to your shop where you can buy your merchandise and all of that. It's just the perfect place to put everything. And once again,
you have to pay for it. Linktree.
I've got the free one, and you
cool.
can get such a lot on there that's free. But if there's let's see, there's pricing. There's a pricing tag. Save 30% on that. There you go. Well, for €4 a month, you can change the style. You've got affiliate marketing tools and scheduling. Then if you pay for €8 a month, that's the most popular one. Advanced customization options, conversion tracking, upgraded customer support, and the option to hide the Linktree logo, so it's just your logo that goes on there. And then there's a premium one for business, which is only €22 a month there, and you get exclusive stuff. So that's probably the premium one that you can just use to replace your whole website. I think you can put articles and everything on there, or you can link it into your website articles to individual ones. So yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah, trusted by 40 million plus small businesses. And not just small businesses, there's just, like my son's using it. And you've got, what is it, email collection? It can even do email collection, phone number collection, embed tweets. You can do your RSS feed. So that's to do with podcasts. Yeah, so you can link your podcasts in there. Mobile app, link app, animations. It's got Spotlight on there. Oh, there it is. Look at that. Oh, you can do an Amazon Associates program. Yeah, so much. I'll just let people have a look at that. And say once again, you can find my Linktree there. It's like the thing that gathers all of your social media into one as well. Brilliant. Oh, and there's GoFundMe. I was going to recommend GoFundMe because that is the leading crowdfunding platform that's very, very handy if you want to crowdfund something. There we go. And the last one I've got recommended is BuyMeACoffee, which, as you all know, I've been using for ages. And that's lovely, buymeacoffee.com. And you can find all of the links to everything we've been talking about in the video description. Are there any others that you need to talk about, Chris?
No, I think that's it. The that Linktree one looks very interesting, I have to say.
Yeah, absolutely. I've just started getting into it, and I'm sure there's videos on YouTube that can tell you how to get into it deeper and what to do.
Yeah.
Somebody was talking about, again, it was Mitch, my music friend, plant identifiers. You can get a thing which you take a photograph of any particular plant, and it tells you what it is, tells you all the name, and tells you where it grows, how to grow it.
We talked about the bird sound one as well, weren't we?
Yeah, bird call identifier.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
And it is really good because Liz, so she was in the house. She turned the app on and she was just walking out of the door to hold it up, and it came up even before she got out of the house with what this bird was and the picture of it, and it was something she'd been wanting to know for at least a year. She'd heard the call before and she's gone, I can't see it. Anyway, it's a little bird high up in the tree or something. And she was wondering, what is it? It's just such a lovely sound. But yeah, and I think you can get one where you take a photograph as well. So like the plant one. And I think there's different animal ones. I think you can get ones for spiders and stuff like that as well. So there's all kinds of stuff that's driven by AI as well, because robots can identify things better than we can, apparently.
Yeah. And look at Google Lens. That's always Google Lens is a handy tool if you just got Google Photos and just lens any photo. It seems to be better and better nowadays.
Yeah, and you can translate as well on the Google app. Google Translate. Yep. You hold up your phone, the phone camera on the Google app, the Google Translate app, and it translates it in front of you. When I had what did I get? A Toyota Prius I had in Ireland, and it had been brought over from Japan, and so the radio and everything was all in Japanese. The panel on the front, the thing to set up your Bluetooth and everything, so that you could join. Everything was in Japanese. And I was how can I replace this? And they said it's going to be a bit difficult. Even Halfords would find it difficult to find the right connectors and put a new one in. But the thing that you can do is put your Google Translate app up to it, and it translates it. Sometimes it comes up with some absurd translations when it's translating Japanese, which are very funny. So it did take me like twice as long to work it out, because sometimes if you take it off and put it back again, it comes up with like something about bamboo and something about forks and something about something else, and you wave it about a bit and come up, and then it says Bluetooth. And yeah, so that's a handy one.
Excellent. And funny as well.
Yeah, it's hilarious. And Shazam is another one that I'd recommend, which that's been around for years. It's where if there's a song playing and you don't know what it is, you click on Shazam and hold your phone up, and it takes about 10 seconds to tell you exactly what the song is and who it's by, and where you can buy it and all of the other stuff. And I think there's now one that you can actually just sing into your phone. If you've got a tune in your head that you don't know what it is, you can hum it or sing it in there, and if it recognises it, it will tell you, which is something that people who are getting older maybe and forgetful, or people like me who are on chemicals that dull your brain. Fantastic thing to have. What's this tune? There we
Excellent.
go. And someone was suggesting Ella Verbs, which is an app which gives you all of the conjugations for all of your verbs in Spanish.
Oh, really? I suppose we've talked about Spanish learning apps, haven't we? I'm a bit lost with those. I don't know what people use.
Well, I started off on, let's have a look on my languages bit of my phone. YouTalk is quite a good one, and I've got a link down below, which is where you can check that one out. But I started with what's the big one that everyone uses? I've got it wiped off my phone now because I changed to Busuu, because Busuu has actually got Spanish speakers from Spain on it, as well as Spanish speakers from Latin America, because some of the words are different. But the other big language app that everybody uses, what's the one with the owl? Can't remember what it's called now because I've not got it on my phone anymore. That one, it's all Latin American Spanish. So I came here and I was talking about computadora, which is what they call computers in Latin America, but it's what is it in Spain? I can't.
Ordenador.
Ordenador.
Yeah.
And I
be
still
careful
say
with some of the things you don't say here. We say coger, which means to take or to catch. We'd say that with a bus, but if you said that in South America, then they'd laugh their heads off at you because it means something completely different.
Is it a rude one?
Which I'm not gonna. It's rude, yeah. You would the first way you would here we say coger los autobús, and you would never say you're gonna coger autobús in South America.
You're gonna shag a
It
bus.
means you can basically, yeah, that's what it means. Like,
Fabulous.
I found that out the hard way when I was in Argentina in 2003. I said, "You're gonna do what to the bus?" I was like, "I just want to get it."
So they all get their camera phones out and go on then. Go on,
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, when I was in Argentina, camera phones didn't exist, but yeah, they definitely get their cameras out. But yeah, that was I found out quite a bit on that because I was still learning Spanish at the time, where I was making mistakes from my Castellano to the Castellano that's in South America.
Brilliant. Kev the Argonaut says, I did see you giving the Skatz treatment to some Toots and the Maytals. Yeah, where did you say? What was the Toots and the Maytals track I was doing? I do lots of reggae and ska, so I can't remember. They do some great tracks. And again, my mind has gone blank. They did.
You are in treatment. We'll let you off.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully my brain will come back at the end of this all. There we go. And so, any more questions on the live chat as we move to the end of the show? And it's Monkey Man. Thanks, Kev. Yeah, I was doing the special version of Monkey Man, but I didn't realise that was a Toots track. Of course it is. There you go. So yes, if you've got any more questions, then put them quickly in the live chat. And while we're waiting for any more questions to come in, because of the time delay, let me just remind you that once we've gone off the air, put your comments in the comments below, but do it in YouTube, on the YouTooSpain YouTube, or go to Upsticks YouTube as well if you want to ask.
Yeah, put it on mine if you
directly.
can. Put it on ours.
Yeah, if you want to get a quick answer. And don't put it on some random Facebook expat group where you found this video shared, because there'll only be me who'll see it, and it'll just disappear off into the comments into the future. But my videos are always on there, and you can always find the comments, and you can always find the answers on there. So there we go. It's a win-win-win with a cherry on top. It's all free. Everything is free on here. But if you want to demonstrate how much it's been of value to you, then donate. Use the QR code in the corner, or if you're not able to hover your phone over that at the moment, use my Linktree, and you can find all of the different ways to donate. And don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe and click on the bell if you haven't already, so you'll be the first to know what's coming up each week on the live shows and the midweek videos. And do the same on Chris's channel as well, on the Upsticks YouTube channel. So Duolingo, thank you, Robbo. That's the language app with the owl on it. Thank you very much. And Gareth Gareth Hackland is on. Hola to you. And Robbo says, great show today, fellas. Hashtag chapeau. Is that you tipping your hat? Thanks very much. Okay, so that is about all of the questions for now. So before we find out what exciting guest I have on next week's show, let's say a huge thank you and a big hug and a kiss to Chris for being wonderful once again. And we'll see you in a couple of weeks. What are we going to talk about in a couple of weeks? We still haven't organised that yet.
No, we haven't organised it. We'll talk about it on Monday if you want. This was I quite enjoyed this. I know we normally talk about residency. We can always do a residency section, but the old living in Spain stuff's quite fun as well, isn't it? Because it also poses a lot of questions and things. We're always trying to find out. I said it on our channel the other day. It's hard when we're just focusing on that one point of people getting a visa in our industry, but then when you realise all these other things which are going on, it's nice to know it from everybody else's point of view, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
we did have a suggestion. We did have a suggestion early on. What was that from JM, saying, would it be possible to have a session on what to expect at airports once you've got an EU passport? I don't think we can fill a whole show with that, actually, because the answer is relatively simple. you can get through a lot
tell you.
easier on an EU passport.
In Malaga at the moment, you can expect not to be stood in the queue for 3 hours,
Yeah.
which is what's currently happening in Malaga. But anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, fantastic. So maybe we'll put that just as a little news section at the beginning of the next show anyway. There we go.
Yeah.
All right then. So thanks very much, Chris. We will see you very, very soon. Ta-ta.
See you later, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So on next week's show, I've got in my notes that it's Chris from Upsticks. It's not. I've just not updated that, but I know exactly who we have on next week's show, and that is Lucia. I think, no, what am I doing? Yes, Lucia Melgarejo. This is all about, we're going to be talking about finance and especially about the wealth tax, because there's been an update on that. Lucia is a wonderful financial expert. She's been on the show twice, or is it 3 times before? And she's really good. I enjoyed the last 2 shows immensely, making finance interesting and exciting, and it's very, very important to a lot of you, I'm sure. So I very much look forward to that, and I look forward to seeing all of you here next week. Anything else? Just make sure you got your questions ready. You can prepare yourself in advance, or just prepare for a lovely chat. In the meantime, you can ask questions in advance on the Facebook page or group or under any of the videos. Or if you need to get in contact in any other way, then check out my Linktree. I'm going to be saying that every week now. And so thank you all for joining me on the live chat, for watching the video back afterwards, leaving comments, hitting the like button, buyingmeacoffee.com or a GoFundMe. I think that's the buymeacoffee.com. And I'll see you either on the midweek video or the video diary on Fridays, or live next Saturday morning at the regular time of 9 o'clock if you're in the UK or Ireland or Portugal or the Canaries, or 10 o'clock if you're in Spain or anywhere in Central Europe. So that's all for this week. Somebody pass around the magical app comparison cookies, and peace and love, peas and fluff. Let's get the peace and love one up. There we go. I don't often flash that one up on screen. And here's one final message from all of those voices in my head at YouTooSpain. Bye for now.
Bye. Goodbye. Toodaloo. Peace and love. Peas and fluff. Oi oi. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. One more cosmic dance? All right then. Look, Mum, I'm dancing. Oh, I'm all a quiver. Let's dance.